Hi guys, Laura here. I'm here today to do a spoiler review of Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book in the in the Lunar Chronicles series. The first book was Cinder, and then it was Scarlet, and then it was Cress, and then it's Winter. But I'm gonna make this kind of a different video. I'm going to give my non-spoiler review of the series, and then I'm gonna do like a spoiler discussion all in one video. So this series is amazing. I really enjoy the whole series as a whole. I loved it. The way that this series is different is that every book builds on every other story. So Cinder is really the heart and soul, the protagonist of this story, and she starts her story in the first book, which is Cinder. But every book introduces a new female character. So in Scarlet, you get Little Red Riding Hood, and Cress, you get Rapunzel, I guess, and in Winter, you get Snow White. And every story like builds on each other. And I really like that. And all the stories are basically built in this dystopian style fantasy world. Like Cinder's character is called Cinderella, but she has a prosthetic foot that's like so that's why she when she finds her foot, like that's like the Cinderella aspect of it. And Scarlet has like a coat, like a hoodie. So everything's kind of, and that I really like that about Marissa Meyer. She takes these iconic stories, put them in this dystopian fairy tale world, and really made them unique and different. And even though you know these stories, I think the way that she presented them was so unique and so different. I really loved the story. I loved her writing, and I loved how she was really able to like craft a very unique and different world, and it really surprised me and really shocked me. I also forgot to mention at the start of the video, in addition to those four books, there's Fairest, which is, as everyone likes to do when you have a series, you give the character, the villain character, a book. And in this book it's called Fairest, and that follows Quilling the Vanya, who you meet in book 1. And as I said in my video, I think I did this on this channel at some point, I'll try to link it below, I was very hesitant to read that book because I did not like Lavana going into that story, and I wanted it to be the same. And normally when you read those books, you grow to feel for these characters, and that's good for a villain. But this is the one time when I truly hated the character going in and hated the character going out. There was no redemption for this character, and I think for me, after completing the series, I think it was really like, it was effective, and I think, like, even though I kind of understood where she was coming from, I didn't feel any sympathy for her. I also liked how all these girls, they weren't, like, the same girl that, like, solved every problem. That was not who Marissa Meyer was building. She built 4 very different females, very different girls, and I think they all had their own, they all had their own problems. They all had things that they had to battle, and Cinder's journey was so complicated and so different, and I really liked how these characters really all interacted with each other, and it wasn't just like Cinder had a story, Scarlet had a story, Cress had a story, and Winter had a story. They really all intertwined. And I think that the characters of Cress, Cinder, and Scarlet really, especially Cress and Scarlet, they really developed a bond and a nice connection. So I really liked reading about them and seeing their progression throughout the story. And that was another thing that I just really liked. And also the book had a lot of interesting male characters. And I know sometimes when you have like a lot of male characters, but it never felt like these characters were just there because she wanted characters. They all had a very specific purpose, and they really all propelled the story forward. So that's my review. If you like dystopian series, but you also like fairy tale, I highly recommend this series. If you love like aliens, kind of, I recommend this series. It is just spectacular. Kai, who I haven't mentioned, is the lead guy in the series. He's Cinder's, the prince. It was kind of Cinder's love interest throughout the book, and I really liked him. I thought that he was great, and it just was such a fantastic book. I think my favorite book, now that I've read them all, I think I really liked Cress, and I really liked Scarlet. I don't know if I could pick between those two, but those 2 books I really enjoyed. So those are probably my favorite. Now, if you have not read this series, I recommend you kind of shut yourself off and don't listen anymore because I'm going to spoil Winter. I really, really like this book. And this book is a monster. This book is like 850 pages. So it did take me a while to read this. This book took me most of the first week or week and a half of um the first week and a half of January, because I started at the end of December. But I really, really liked it, and I loved meeting Winter. Winter is not someone you met her very, very infrequently throughout the books, but I loved getting to know her character in this and really learning what not using her powers, the effect that it had on her. I don't think I would have expected that or anticipated that, but I really, really liked it, and I was blown away. I was blown away by her relationship of Winter that we got with the other characters, but also by Jason. And we've met Jason before. He's been, I think, in most of the books. So to see a totally different side of Jason, I was stunned, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I like the complexity of the problems that were facing Cinder and the rest of the gang. And it was just so unique to watch and see what was going on. And I was so, so excited. I love the ending with Lavanya. I really, really did. As I said before, I was really afraid that the Ferris book was really going to change my opinion about her, but it didn't, and I was very, very happy with the ending. And it's it's one of these stories like where you get the happily ever after. Like, this is a story that I don't want to end. Like, I want to know what happened after Cinder became queen, or when, she became Lunar. Like, what happened after. So I know in February we're getting These Stars Rise, which is a collection of novellas. I don't know if it's like only the novellas that were in the stories or on Marissa's Wise Meyer's website. I don't know if we're gonna get like an after story after Winter. That would be great, because I just want to know like what this world looked like after Cinder changed it. Yeah, after Cinder changed it. And I really, really grew to love Kai and Cinder. I think my favorite romance was Crescent Thorn. I was I so loved meeting Cress, and that's why I think she's probably one of my favorite characters. I really liked meeting her, but I really like the opposite relationship that she had between Thorn and her. It was very, very combative. It reminded me a little bit of like Ron and Hermione from Harry Potter. Very, very combative, very, very like they're in their own little worlds, and it wasn't until a last minute effort that they really realized that they love each other. And that was something that I really, really caught me off guard. This book is like 800 pages, but it didn't feel that way. And I think that it was really, really important. This book, I know a lot of people had criticisms of it. I didn't have any criticisms. I thought that it was long, but I think that every page was worth it. And I think every character had its voice, and their voice was represented. Sometimes when you do books that have this many characters, they get a little bit lost, and you don't get to really, their story doesn't get to be told the way that it should have. But this story, I think, really was told in an exquisite manner, and I really, 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 really liked it. So I'm definitely going to read These Stars Arise, which is the collection of e-novellas, and then Marissa Maya is coming out with a new series based around like Wonderland, and the first book, Heartless, comes out in November, and I will definitely, definitely be checking that out. So I hope you guys, if you guys have read Winter, you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are going to check out These Stars Rise. I will probably do a video review about it. But I hope you guys are having a great day. As always, like everything below, and I'll talk to you guys later.